Hi, I'm Bart Herbison, Executive Director of the Nashville Songwriters Association. And our songwriter, we'll talk about the song in a minute this week, is the great Hall of Fame songwriter Waylon Holyfield. I thanked you in our last episode because you hired me for this job almost 18 years
I
ago.
know.
And
In D.C.,
that's
actually,
right.
it was.
But I want to give you some more props because we're in challenging times for the music industry in general and songwriters in particular when our rate mechanisms are from 1909 and 1941. And I just want to publicly thank you for your work on the ASCAP Board of Directors and trying to forward. And I feel like we're getting close to making some changes that have been overdue for a century in the way songwriters get paid.
Well, thank you. I feel privileged to serve on the ASCAP board. We represent, almost 500,000 writers and publishers. Uh, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to get legislation. It's tough with the Justice Department using these antiquated uh, rules that were established back before there was nobody ever dreamed of an internet or digital or any of these things.
Right.
And we have the same. And so we have those antiquated rules trying to apply to this, along with the Pandoras and the Googles of the world that no one could have ever foreseen, and how the licensing is so difficult, and how it makes it tough to be a songwriter these days. I mean, it is tough. I would hate to be coming to town right now with the challenges that face us.
Well, I think we're going to make some changes. And
Hope
again,
so.
thank you for a long time of telling that story and fighting the good fight, Waylon.
Thank you.
The song, there's two kinds of song every songwriter wants to get. One's a Christmas song because you're going to have one nice quarter in performance royalties every year if you get a hit Christmas song. The other's a wedding song, and you and your co-writer on this song,
Bob House.
Bob House, wrote "Could I Have This Dance." Take us back to the idea and the day that song was born.
I remember it well. It was I was working with the publishing company of the late Bill Hall, who was a fabulous publisher and a good guy. And I was in my office. I have some. I worked 9 to 5 when I was doing this, full time. I don't quite have the fire in the belly anymore to do it, but Bob, who was from Arkansas, I'm from Arkansas. He's from Harrison, Arkansas, and so I'd kind of taken him under my wing, and he hadn't had any success much, and he would come in and play songs, and he played. I can't remember the name of the song that he played, but in it, in a verse, there was he said something about "Could I have this dance forever" or something. It's just, I mean, but I remember it was like, wait a minute, Bob. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? And it was like
Two of the greatest lines, in my opinion, in the history of music. If a song's supposed to paint a picture and give a message, and you always say less is more. You've always told me that when you talk to young songwriters. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life?
this kind of sums it up. Now we had to have some other lines and
Yeah,
stuff,
but still.
but no, and you're right. It's for a songwriter. One of the most validating things you can do is to have a song that touches people's lives, and when they use it in their weddings, I don't ask about what happened after the wedding and if it truly was for the rest of their life, but at that time, it really validates what you do as a songwriter. And this was in 19 like 80, right before Urban Cowboy came out, because Anne Murray recorded it, and it was in the movie called the wedding, or the wedding song. But it was a thing that people would come up to me and say, we use that in our wedding. That means so much.
Well, let's talk about Urban Cowboy.
But a little bit later, they would come up and say, "My parents used that in their wedding, and this last spring, somebody came. My grandparents used it. Okay, it wears well. That's good."
So, I mean, there's 2 or 3 movies of all time. Maybe Saturday Night Fever, maybe Dirty Dancing, and then there's Urban Cowboy. What? I don't think anybody knew what phenomenon that was going to be, how it was going to change music, how it was going to popularize our genre. Take me back to remembering. Remember the first time you saw it in the movie?
Oh yeah, I do. And our old friend Jerry House, who was, we got to go to a premiere, down in 100 Oaks.
Morning Man at WSIX for you.
Yeah, for years, and a good old pal. He was in front of me, and after it had been played, the movie, and I was just sitting there watching the credits, and he turned around and said, "Pal, that's gotta feel great." And I said, "It does." And to see it, on the screen, and
But it's still on all the time, and I think it's a vehicle for those songs to be exposed to this generation.
Yeah, it's played. It's probably playing somewhere right now. That movie.
You still get asked all the time to play it at a wedding, don't you?
I do. I mean, and I pick, my friends sometime. I mean, I can't do them all, but a lot of times they
my
use
great grandson. I just think it's a phenomenal artistry. I think there's an efficiency to that song, and I think it's perfect for love and for weddings.
Well, I've been married going on 44 years next week, and I believe in the lyrics.
Yeah, you sure
And
do.
Nancy hadn't caught on yet either.
You married way over your head.
No,
We
I
both
did.
So we're going to hear a little bit of it. Hall of Fame songwriter Waylon Holyfield, the story behind the song this week for the Tennessean and Tennessean.com. Could I Have This Dance?
Always remember the song they were playing the first time we danced. And I knew as we swayed to the music, held to each other, I fell in love with you. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest